Hi, so this is how elementary school teachers can enter assignments or we call them events in Skyward. Um, if you log into your Skyward account, you're going to go to the teacher access menu on the top and then click on my gradebook. And when you see the list of all of your gradebooks, you're going to choose the class that you want to work on. Once you are on the class that you want to work on, you're going to go to the events menu on the top and click on add event. From here, you need to enter a description for your assignment, and it's optional, but you can also write a long description here. And then you're going to click the dates when you assign it and when it's due. For some teachers, this is not important, as it could be all for the same date or for next week. So just try to put a date there. Sometimes you'll get a note here that says it's not a school day if you chose a Saturday or a holiday, but it still allows you to enter your event. Once you put the dates, um, you're gonna look at the gray mark. We only have a gray mark this year, one gray mark group this year, which is the letters. So all of our events are gonna use this gray scale. Then you have to choose the skills that you want this assignment to be graded. So if you want, for example, for this math class, if I want this assignment to grade numeracy and operations, I need to check this too. However, because data analysis is the first one on the list, it is there by default. Skyward selects the first one on the list by default, and then it's grayed out down here at the bottom. So be careful. If you're not grading the very first skill and it is selected, the only way to unselect this is by changing your first skill on the top. So let's say you want numeracy and operations, so then I'll use numeracy from here. That will uncheck that and make numeracy to be my initial skill, which is going to be grayed out now because I cannot uncheck it from here. So numeracy and operations are checked, and now I can save. I have three options to save: save and back, which takes me back to the gradebook screen; save and add another, which will allow me to add another event with another description, etc., or save and score. So if you're ready to enter your scores for this assignment, you can click on save and score, and then it's going to open a screen where you can put your grades. On this window, you can either type the grades individually, which will be the letter grades, so like ME and EE, or all ME, depending. You can use the mass assign option, which allows you to assign the same grade for every student for all the skills. So if you select one grade here and then click on apply, it's going to give the same grade to everybody. You can always go back and change some grades if you need to. Once you finish with all your grades, you can click on save and back, or just save. If you just save, it's going to stay on this window and allows you to keep working on it. And if you click save and back, it's going to take you back to your gradebook, and it's going to show you those two events. It's really one, but because you chose two skills, it's going to show as if there were two events because each one has their own individual grade. You can keep adding more events here. So let's add one for maybe operations only. Operations review, and maybe this was September 10, and I'm gonna save and score, and maybe everybody got an ME. And this screen looks a little different because I only chose one skill, so it actually allows me to put some comments for the grades if I want to. So I'm gonna choose ME for everybody, click on apply and save. So now I have two columns here for operations and one for numeracy, and I can keep adding events if I want to. And then maybe patterns and operations, save and score. And maybe somebody got a little bit of difficulties doing something. 7 back. Now, this year, the skills grade, it's going to be a manual entry. So this is going to allow the teacher to kind of look at all the evidence and decide what the kid should have reporting on the report card. So if at the end of the trimester all this evidence shows me that the student should have an ME, then I'm going to write an ME here. If this evidence here tells me that the student should probably have an AE, then I will type an AE here. So there's no calculation among any of these grades. It's totally subjective. You're only entering this to keep evidence on the gradebook. So at the end of the trimester, all you have to do is click on the colored column, which is a skill column. Let's say for operations, I'll click here, and that gives me a chance to write the final grade for the trimester for this skill. So if I want to give everybody an ME, I can do that with this column here, with this option, ME, and then it's going to ask me if I'm sure, and I'll click OK, and everybody gets an ME, and then I can save this. And that will be the trimester 1 grade for operations. And then you do the same for all the other skills. Now also at the end of the trimester, you have to give a grade for the life standards, which used to be called non-academic. So it's these columns right here. You have behavior, collaboration, and organizational habits. So you're just going to click directly in the column and enter the grade. Unless you want to add some evidence, which you can too. So if you want to add a few events here that are tied to behavior, you can, but then at the end of the trimester, you still have to enter the final grade for that skill. Like for example, behavior, I'll click here, and even if I see evidence here, I still have to enter the final grade for all the kids for that skill, just like this. All right. So I hope this is clear on how to add the grades for the events. Also for comments, at the end of the trimester, you're going to click on comments right here on the top, and then make sure you are on the right trimester and click on post comments, and then you'll start writing comments here. This box seems to be very small, but you can enlarge it from here if you're using Chrome, or you can click on the box right here on the right and it'll give you a bigger box. The comments are limited. I'm not sure yet to how many characters, but it will be restricted, so the report card only shows 1 page per course. So I'll let you know later on how many characters is the limit. It won't let you go over that many characters, so as soon as it stops typing for you, that means you reach the limit. If you're copying and pasting from Microsoft Word, you have to keep an eye as soon as you know what's the limit, so you don't write more words in Word, and then when you copy and paste in here, it might truncate your text. So we'll have to keep an eye, but I'll let you know what's the number of characters that we're gonna set as a limit. All right, so if you have any questions, you know where to find me, you know my email address. I hope you have a good day.